everyone. That's a basic share. Welcome to bring this closer to our Asset Management Monday Zoom. I see new faces. I think if you're not new and you seem new to me, I'm sorry. Is there anyone that's in the room that's here for the first time? And I'm not going to call you out, even though I don't think I've ever seen you, Veronica. Not saying you're new.
Hello. Yes. Good evening, everyone. I am new here. Happy to
I knew it. Where are you tuning in from?
I am in Orlando, Florida. So,
Awesome.
yeah, recently joined the Michael Blank family and came across the series and I was really eager to join and I'm really looking forward to this. Everything is so new to me. I'm just here to listen and learn and absorb as much as possible.
Oh no, absolutely. You're in the right room. I was in, rooms like this when I started my journey as well. So take notes and if you can't, that's fine. These are recorded in case you didn't know. They're recorded and placed on our YouTube channel, as well as I believe there's also streamed on Spotify as well. I was just in Sarasota. I was in Florida. Now I know the kind of warm weather you guys are enjoying. Jeez Louise. It's been cold. I'm finally wearing a short sleeve shirt for the first time in Massachusetts. Good Lord. All right. Let me start sharing my screen for those that are new or returning to us. Oh Lord. I'm hoping this. Hold on one second. Want to make sure this works. Because you know how my screen does. Okay. There we go. All right, while I'm getting that pulled up, I can stop blah blahing. I'm known for that. So this is the Multifamily Freedom Chasers community for those who are relatively new or first time. Every other Monday, we hold an asset management series. And by we, I mean Bibi and I. And today we'll be going over the our property management company's role in our business plan and budget. Okay. And so for those who are new or those who are going to watch the recording that have never been, Bibi is an owner-operator out of Dallas. She's in the Dallas, PA market and expanding. She's a mom like me. I'm in Massachusetts, but I'm in similar markets to her. I'm partnered with her on two assets rather. And I also have kiddos. So it's possible to do this as a mom. It's possible to do this as a single mom. It's possible to do this while holding down the W-2, and it's possible to do this, obviously, if you are full-time. So there are no excuses to anyone who thinks that this is unattainable or unachievable. Okay. Awesome. I'm going to throw the Facebook link in the group. I do want to mention that there is a Facebook group now. It's a Blue Ocean Facebook group. Bibi, do you want to say a word or two about it? Let me see. I think you're muted, just so that you know.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Yes, this is Blue Ocean's Facebook group. The idea for this group is to constantly educate us about the market, about those of us that are looking for deals, what you should be looking out for. If you've closed on deals, what are the things you should be watching out for? And recently, we've added a new program on the Facebook group. We'll be doing every other Wednesdays, we'll be doing something like talking to the experts. So every other Wednesdays, we're going to be having some experts on the group for 30 minutes. You can ask them any question, from de-sourcing to de-structuring to underwriting to asset management to financing. So each week there will be a particular expert. I mean, not every week, every other Wednesday, There will be an expert on Facebook Live, ready to answer any live questions. And we'll also give people the opportunity to write down their questions ahead of time and send them to us if you feel the registration and all that. So that's an opportunity for you to ask questions on anything multifamily. So it's pretty exciting for us right now. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. So for those of you who were here last week, and when I mean last week, I mean 2 weeks ago, and for those who weren't, we talked about infinite returns, and we used, we highlighted a case study using, it was really much a case study that we did the last time, more so, using one of the assets that we do have. So I think this is actually from 2 weeks ago, but these are just a couple of things that Bibi touched on that can affect one's ability as an operator to be able to either offer or have that infinite return model in your product. It's not going to work for every deal. It's only select deals. Bibi, is it fair to say that it's more likely with Class A products or not really?
No, it's for all deals. You can have this affect any deal irrespective of the class.
Oh, no, I meant the ability to offer infinite returns. Is it something
It's
that's
all deals.
all deals?
It's all deals, yeah.
Yep, okay. All deals. So your interest rate, cap rate, economy, market trends, and policies, those are some things that can affect and impact. Yes, Angel, I'm a warrior. Are you? I know. Bibi's like, oh my gosh, not again. She's tired of hearing me in the warrior program. I am a warrior. And yes, I was in Sarasota. But squirrel, back to what we're talking about. But yeah, these are things that can impact one's ability to get infinite returns. Okay. So this particular session that we're going to, go over, this is something that we had done early on in our series. I think it was in October. So we're, coming at it again with a fresh set of eyes and perspective, etc. But we're hoping that at the end of this session, everyone in this room will be able to recognize the importance of engaging a property management company early with your business plan. It shouldn't be a secret. It shouldn't be something that you spring on them last minute. And then, what are key components of an ideal business plan, reviewing an asset manager's role in the budget preparation, and then outlining steps to ensure that our budget outlines with our pro forma. I'm hoping we can go over all of this. Good luck, Bibi. All right. So let me ask. We found a deal. Deals are kind of hold on one second. Let me throw some people into the room. There we go. All right. So deals are kind of challenging to find. Good deals are pencil out are challenging to find right now. You finally find one. You find one and you're so excited. And you just start running with it. You go to your lender, you go to the insurance broker, you're doing all these things. How early exactly should we engage a property management company with our business plan? And why do they even need to know what our business plan is? Why is it their business? Oh, and the question isn't directed to Bibi. She knows the answer. The question is directed to the audience. So throw the answer in the chat. Oh, look, okay. Angel says, because they have to make it happen. Yep. So someone's going to have to execute the business plan. That's asset management. And it's not just the asset managers working alone. So they have to make it happen. That's a great response. They're responsible for the results. We're the owners, technically, yes, but they share part responsibility for what's going on. And if they're not making it work, then we part ways. I think we touch on that in our how to, things to look out for in a property management company. But because we have a lot, sorry, I'll skip over that. Because we have a lot, let me jump into this for Bibi to kick things off.
Hello, everyone. So I'm going to take us back a little. We're supposed to do a session before this, and that was supposed to be.
Oh, did I share? Am I projecting the wrong slides set?
No, not this. I'm saying we're supposed to do a presentation before this. So, but let me just summarize it before we do this. The important thing about asset management is the ability for it to give you your investors that returns that you promised them. So, like what Ify said, you've closed on a deal, you've done everything you need to do. Now it's time for you to manage it. There are 4 key components that we normally do. I will summarize my asset management into 4 different categories, which is the planning, which is the monitoring, communication, and transact. Those 4 things I just mentioned are very, very critical in your asset management. And budgeting and business plan is just a part of it, but a very major part of it. So we're supposed to talk about that before this, but yes, we are here right now. So what do we expect to learn in this session is a checklist of how to selecting a property management company. I think what we expect to learn at the end of this entire session, because this session is very long and we've broken it into 2. So by the end of the entire session, which will be the next presentation, we'll be able to know how the checklist for selecting a property manager. We'll be able to review sample closing checklist. So your closing, what are the things you need to check? What are the checklists you need to have before you close, when you close, and as soon as you, pre-close, closing, and post-close. So you need to have a checklist for those periods. Recognizing the warning signs, the red flags that signals the time to transit to another property. So your property manager is not performing. What do you need to do at that point? We'll be discussing that during this session, not this one, the next one. Then identify the qualities of good asset and property manager and reforecasting. So these are going to be discussed in the next session. What we'll be discussing this week is really about budget, which is in the segment of planning, budget and business plan. So typically some people start to prepare their business plan, maybe when maybe they're about closing, or because they're inexperienced, so they tend to prepare it very late, or they tend to engage a property manager when they've closed on a deal. The reason why you cannot involve a property manager when you've closed on your deal is because the property manager is the most critical person, or the most critical company or recruitment you need to have on your team, on your deal. So it's important that you start your deal with them. At what point do you start to engage them? You have to start engaging them at the beginning, right before you even put out your LOI, because they will also help you with your underwriting. So you're underwriting a deal, you're projecting that deal that in 1 year, I should be able to get $1 million or amounts for my net operating income. You're analyzing that deal and you're saying all those things. But the truth is that you really do not know if that is possible, because 1, you might not be local in that market. And secondly, you are not an active player. Property managers are daily performer. They perform daily in the market, especially those that know their onion. Those ones perform daily in the market. So they study the market, they know the market, they know what is happening firsthand. So when you engage them at the beginning, then the probability that things will go wrong, at least you streamlined it to a large extent, because you have the right people starting up with you. So preparing a business plan. When do you prepare a business plan, and who do you communicate your business plan with? So,
Hey, Bibi.
Yeah.
Before we go very deep in that, we have a few new people. So I did get a question, and the question is actually defining what the roles of a property management company does. Now, I
Okay.
know we focus on this in
Next week.
another, correct.
Yeah.
But if we could just do a high level, yes,
Okay.
if we could do a high level so that they're not stuck on trying to understand what that is and they can follow along with you. So I know instead of just saying, they lease and, they evict, etc. But can you go over who the heck is a property management manager?
Okay, good. I would really love them to come for the next presentation. I'm not going to spill all the bean right now. I'm just going to tell you guys a little. So a property manager is the one that runs the daily operations of the deal of your property. Okay, so as an investor, as the sponsor, you are not supposed to be running a day-to-day activity on that property because one, if you do that, you will not have the ability for you to scale. You will not have that time for you to do other deals and all that. So the idea is for you to delegate and give it to someone that is major role is to manage that property 24/7. So in summary, the role of a property manager is the day-to-day operations of that property. And what are the day-to-day operations of the property is to welcome new prospects, to maintain the prospects you have on ground. That means the ones that are currently there, to ensure that they retain them, to conduct things like repairs, to help you with your CapEx issues, to help you with analyzing the market constantly, to help you to check what you are doing in comparison with your competitors. So their role is very delicate. In short, if you have that, if you do not do your due diligence in getting the right property manager, I don't care how beautiful your deal is or how great your business plan is. It will be very difficult for you to succeed without you getting them right. I'm trying to look for the best way to put them. They're as important as the deal.
Mm-hmm.
In short, more important than the deal.
They've run down some deals, right? Some of the deals
They can run down a good deal. Yeah, I visited a property 2 weeks ago, and this property was phenomenal, beautiful in every aspect, but the property manager was the problem. They actually ran down that property from 98% to 82% occupancy. Beautiful property, very competitive. It's in front of a golf area, very strategically located, everything, but the property manager is wrong. I mean, just so wrong. So in summary, that is what they do, daily operations that you should not be doing because you need to scale, look for other deals and keep growing. Yeah, so
we're not in this to be in the landlording business.
no, at all.
Yeah.
So some questions some people ask, but I have the skill, I can manage my property myself and all that. So my answer to whoever is saying that is depending on the level where you are. If you have the expertise and you have maybe say 12 units, very small, and maybe it's just down the road or behind your house, something not too far, not too fine, you can do that if you want. And again, you might also do it to gain experience. So for me, I did it because I'm this kind of person, I always want to be hands-on. So I didn't do it because I enjoyed it. No, I wanted to really know it. So if you are this kind of person, I really want to know what a property manager does, you might need to just, you can decide to manage your very little properties. I won't advise you to do it for a bigger property because one is time consuming, and if you don't have the expertise, you might fail. So it just depends on where you are in everything.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. So what are the core components of a multifamily business plan? So why do we even create a business plan in the first instance? I guess we all should know this answer because this is a business. We need to start treating multifamily as a business. It's a business because it has all the elements of a business. Everything that you do in a regular business, you do them here. So it needs to be treated like a business. And besides, you need to know where you're going to from the beginning before you even take up the deal. So I typically start to create my business plan from my underwriting stage. So I'm looking at a deal. So I'm looking at a deal and I'm seeing that they are 80% occupied. I am seeing that they have classic units. When I mean classic, units that they've not renovated ever. Maybe that's how it was built. The owner has not done any obvious renovation. I'm seeing that maybe the property is stable, but the rent is low. Those things are the things giving me the ideas of what I should be putting in my business plan. So your business plan, you start creating them from when you start doing your underwriting. If you are underwriter, you start to see, like I tell people, the numbers gives me my story. The numbers tells me the story. I don't know how many of you are underwriters, but you should understand what I'm saying. When you're saying the numbers, you'll be saying the story. When you start projecting, you start seeing the business plan in everything you are doing. So the components of a business plan is that it must have a summary, that means a brief description. Now, this business plan needs to be very brief. You don't need to make it. I remember when I was writing a business plan for my first business, I did about, I think, 30 pages of, I broke down it, I broke it down into 30 pages. No, but this one full page or 1.5 pages of just highlighting the critical areas of your deal is just fine. You don't need to just go in depth and no.
So we can't have a one-liner that just says value add. It has to
No. It just needs just the critical areas, and I've listed them out. The critical areas are you need to describe the assets. What is that asset? Describe it. How many units is it? What vintage? What age? What's the plumbing like? What is the roof like? Things like that. You need to give a brief summary about it. Then the next thing is the market dynamics. Where is it located? Is the market growing? Is it close to the metropolitan? You need to describe it. So whoever is reading it knows in a summary already knows what you're talking about. Then the capital needs, what exactly do you need the capitals for? The capital for what are the capex you're doing? You need to break it down. Is it renovation, value add, whatever it is, you need to, I'm doing my roof, I'm changing the chiller, I'm changing the HVAC, you need to list them out there. The amount, how much is it? What is your budget for capex? Then a summary of the debt. Yes, you need to also put down the debt. What is the debt that you are getting on this deal? Your top priorities. What do you intend to achieve? I intend to hold this deal for 4 years. I intend to, this deal must not go be above 95%. Your top priorities needs to be there. And after doing this, you need to present this to your property manager. And the reason why you need to do that is for both parties to be in sync. So when you are saying, why is my rent not going up? I need it to go up now because I need to refinance in the next 2 years. They understand what you're saying. If you're not communicating what your business plan is, I need to exit this deal in the next 3 years, they will not be able to actively or push rent or do things they're supposed to do because they know that they don't even know the plan. So once they know the plan that you're exiting in 4 years, because if you are going to exit in 4 years, I don't know how many of you were in the section when I was discussing exit strategy. The plan starts from year 1. You can't say you want to exit in year 4 and your year 1, year 2, year 3 is already bad. You've not done anything. Everything will lead to a ripple effect. So everything starts from year 1. So you need to start those things from year 1. That's it. You just have to. The next slide, Ify.
Okay. We're going to show this one.
Yes, so yeah, we're going to use this, the business plan we created for this deal as a sample so that you guys will see. This is high level. You don't need to do it like this. You can fine tune it to whatever you want. But in this sample, you can see I described the property as 123 units, 95 units are 2 beds, 28 units are 1 bed. It's 1968, 13-story buildings, 685 square foot average unit size. Then the market dynamics, population growth, employment growth, low supply and high demand. So what am I trying to say about that? That we don't have competitors close to us. we have many people that really want this property, but we have low demand. We don't have multifamily close to this property. So that's a catch for any investor right there. So capital needs, parking lot resurfacing, fencing, entrance gates, and 50% of interior renovation. My top priorities. This is relatively low value property. So I'm explaining to the property manager that this is a low value add property, meaning that we are not going to put in so much money on this deal. We're not going to make it premium renovation. This is going to just be the regular cosmetic kind of value add we're doing, and we're going to bump rent with it. So from the beginning, the property manager already knows what I'm saying, that we are not spending more than cosmetic and pricing to do the renovation. We're going to make it, we're not going to make it premium. I know that our goal is to increase the income with minimal interior upgrades. Most importantly, the property must not go below 95%. So I've communicated two things: low rehab, very minimal rehab, and also we should also watch the occupancy. That means we will not be moving people out of the property because we want to renovate. So I'm emphasizing on it. So I'm emphasizing more emphasis be placed on tenant retention and collection. So in summary, I've said a lot of things, and I've told the property manager, this is exactly what I want. How much am I spending on my capex? How much am I spending on my stereo? And my debt, this is the amount I took for debt. And I want to hold this property for 4 years. So everything I've communicated to the property manager, but typically I like to do this alongside with my property manager as well. But you can do this on your own, but I normally do this with them and ask them, what do you think? Do you think we can actually achieve this? Because we've been during the underwriting period, we've already been discussing. So already we all know the business plan. So it's just for it to be written down, and they are seeing it and they're going to communicate it to their lower level staff, those payroll people. The people you're actually talking to are the back end office people. Don't forget, the people that are actually going to execute this are the ones on ground. That's the payroll team. So this document is actually for them as well, for them to see what exactly is the vision. That's what this is all about. So if the next slide.
I mean, this isn't quite related, but you remember that asset that we took to our property management company, and we didn't even get to the point of business plan. They just said, listen, we could not perform in that, we could not perform in that market.
Exactly.
In that specific neighborhood.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So really, property managers are very, very important. Like we got a deal, but we're not allowed to see the property ahead of time. So we took this deal to our property manager. We said, tell us about the area. What do you think about this? And he came back and he said, no, this area, no, don't go there. We've managed property there in the past. You cannot increase rent in that area. There's high crime in that area.
Don't go in the evening.
Don't go in there. Don't go there in the evening.
Propositioned.
I'm begging you, Bibi, please don't drive them in the evening. Go in the morning if you don't, So property manager, the management company they were able to guide us around that. So now the next thing is, who prepares the budget? Is it the asset manager? Is it the property manager, lender, the GP team? Not sure. So now the thing is,
let's see if anybody says it in the chat.
Okay.
I thought that was a response to it. Mihir, we'll get to your question at some point, but we had kind of touched on this before, but this is a good thing to ask again. So guys, who do you think prepares the budget? Guess. You could guess. So Veronica says the asset manager, and that's a very good guess. Property manager. Oh, okay. So Veronica says asset manager. Lisa says property manager. Does anyone want to break the tie? Going once, going twice. You can't go wrong with this, really.
Yeah.
Okay, someone else. So Nathan said property manager, and then so I think it's property management for the win.
Okay, yes, but I've been in different settings and I hear people saying the asset manager. The reason why I'll beg to differ with an asset manager preparing the budget is because, one, the property manager knows the numbers, knows a lot. They've managed similar properties or they've managed properties in that market. They should be able to tell you what's achievable in terms of your expenses, in terms of what your projected income should look like, or what the market trend has been before now, if they've been in that market. So you getting the right property management that is local and experienced is very, very critical as well. So if they passed those criteria, then they should be able to advise you on what the budget should look like. Now, remember, you did the underwriting, right? You, as the underwriter or the sponsor, you're the one that did your underwriting, and you're asking someone else to prepare the budget. So how do we align the budget with your pro forma, which is your underwriting? Is you tell the property manager to prepare the budget, what they feel the income, the expenses, and the underlying under the line items should look like. Under the line items are capex items, things that are not under the regular operating expenses. So what are the regular operating expenses? Utility, taxes, insurance, contract services, admin, those things that they are on a regular basis, they are recurring expenses. Those things are called operating expenses. They are the things that occur every time in that property. Then the capex are typically one-off things that come and you handle them on a case-by-case basis as you want. So they will give you the breakdown of everything from the income projection and all that. Then, but before you seal up on the budget, you need to ensure that it aligns with your pro forma. And all these things will need to be done before you start getting your investors. So imagine you've promised your investors 17% IRR. And your property, first of all, you did not involve your property manager from the beginning. Secondly, you've already started giving out your PPM. PPM is operating memorandum. I say
Private placement.
Private placement. You've already started distributing that to your investors. You've said all sorts of things. You've promised them heaven and earth and all that, and you now decided to bring in a property manager, and the property manager says, "No, Bibi, you can't achieve this rent. Sorry, you're saying you want to achieve 900. From this market, from my perspective, you can only get 750. You know already you are messed up. How will you go back to your investors and say, sorry guys, I made a mistake? I've seen people that will just go ahead and just face it heads on. But I don't think that is that is a very wrong thing for you to do, because you did not start this from the beginning. So when you're preparing the budget, like I said, if you've gotten your property manager involved from the beginning, you should know that because they're giving you the budget and they've helped you out from the beginning when you were doing your underwriting, because doing your underwriting, you need to also look for the property manager's perspective on the income. So for those of you that are underwriters, you are underwriting, you are projecting on your own. Then when you've engaged your property manager, you also ask the property manager for their own perspective on the same items, on the income and also on the expenses. You've said engaging them. So based on that, you would know where you fall at. There's a lot of communication going on between you and the property manager. I've seen cases, I have called my property manager and I have disputed some numbers, and I say, no, I don't think this is right. And they also come again on their own and say, no, this budget is too low. Based on what we are saying, this is low. So you're already having that engagement at the beginning. So when it's time for the budget, it now becomes easy because they're going to give you something similar to what you guys have been discussing way back. So they're bringing the budget and they're presenting it to you. You're going through it and you are aligning it, looking at your pro forma, whatever you've promised your investor, you're aligning it. Okay, my income is going to be 18 million. Okay, my budget is 18.5. Okay, we're close. That's good. My expenses is about 50% expense ratio. That means it's 50% of my income that I'll be spending on my expenses. Okay, my pro forma says 51%. We are close. That's fine. You need to align it at the beginning before you even start distributing your PPM to your investors and all that. So that when you are also doing your check and balances, that means you are doing your profit and loss review. You are also checking what your current, these things are in stages. You'll be checking what exactly the property is doing versus your budget. Whatever it is you've budgeted from the beginning, you'll be measuring it against what is actually happening. So if you did not get the budget or your pro forma is off, your budget is on this way, your pro forma is this way, there's already a problem. What are you going to be measuring the actual performance with? So all these things are done from the beginning. The first thing, like I said, let me summarize it before I move to the next. The first thing is you're underwriting, you are getting the properties manager's perspective, and you're going to align with it at that point. The next thing is the budget. You're going to align your budget with your pro forma. All these things must go live before you call your investors in. So that when the deal starts, you can have something to measure what you're doing against. So I hope that clarifies why it's important that the property manager brings in the budget and you align it with your pro forma. Because there's been consistent communication, then it makes things a lot more easier and not complicated.
One line item that I seem to remember is marketing, right? So the marketing costs that we have for our PA, or the marketing strategy, right? We have for our PA property, completely different from what we have in Texas, with the Texas one. And even when, members of our team said, hey, why don't we try, adopt this strategy that most people use in the we're using in Pennsylvania property. The Texas people said, no, we don't need to do that. It looks good on paper, but you don't need to do that for this asset. So
yeah,
every line
because
item.
yes, because both of them really were two different business plans. Like no two deals are similar. So don't assume because I spent 70,000 on my advertisement on this deal, I'm going to spend 70,000 on my advertisement on this deal. So So let me give a comparison. We have two deals. The previous owner was spending about 100,000 of advertisement on one, and the current owner was spending below $2,000 on one. The same number of units, but different markets, different problems. One was almost 100% occupied. The other was 68% occupied. So you can see the need. They're different and all that. So it's important.
And the tenant base is completely different. So, doing a whole rebrand, which we almost thought of doing, was just completely unnecessary with one. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah, so we had that conversation with the property manager. The current owner was doing that, was spending about 100,000 plus. But when we came in, we said, no, we're not going to spend, we're going to spend $6,000. So we cut down the advertisement from 100,000 to 6,000, and it's working. So you just need to work alongside with your property, and it took the property manager to confirm that was possible, and that was because they were already doing it on other properties. So why shouldn't we do it on us and all that? So it just save you stress, save you money, save you a lot of things. So just do yourself the favor, get a property manager on time. They should be your best friends. If you want to, in short, they're my best friends. And we are like family now. When I go down to visit, we chat, we discuss, there are people that you need to just engage with consistently.
Yeah.
So what are the characteristics of a good budget? A budget needs to be reasonable. So for example, a property manager brings a budget to you and is telling you that in that market, let's say the expense ratio is typically 50% of the income, and it brings a budget and says it's 80%. You know right there that there's something off. So, but if you have a good property manager, you will not have that issue. It must be realistic. That means it must be, for the fact, I'm going to combine it with the next one, adequately aggressive. For the fact that it must be realistic, it must also create expectations. You don't also want to make your property manager lazy. So your budget, the market is currently at 1,200. There's nothing wrong with you saying, okay, yes, the market's at 1,200, but I want us to get to 1,250. That is being adequately aggressive and realistic at the same time. You're combining both. One, you're not making them lazy, you're making them to say, okay, I think we can do better. Or, yes, the expense ratio in this market is 50%. Yes, I want us to make it 49%, 1% lower than what the market is doing. You're putting them on their toes, you're making them perform better. Like recently, we called our property manager because we've been tracking with our budget. We call them because, you know, if you have student housing, you know that June, July is a very sensitive period. It's a period where students go home and you still have expenses to pay regardless, whether they are in there or not, you still be paying some expenses. So the idea is, this is the goal. We are going to, I don't want us to spend above this amount, this period. So anything, you have to take off those things that are not important for my expenses. Things that are important are like taxes, insurance, and all that. But anything like landscaping, those things, we might need to skip them. Instead of doing it every week, we might need to do them once a month. So these are the kind of expectations you should like create for your property manager. It must be realistic, adequately aggressive, not over-aggressive, and in-depth and detailed. So the budget must contain everything to the last bit. So for the fact that CapEx is on a case-by-case basis, because you really don't know what will come up. Tomorrow, maybe your chiller breaks down. You don't know what that is. You must budget for replacement over some period. So during our when we're doing our budget on this day, we budgeted to replace our HVAC I think six every month. I think one every month, something like that. That was the budget we had on a yearly basis. So if we're replacing one, that means it's 12 a year. For the fact they are brand new does not mean brand new things do not break. So we still made the budget for those things that are not recurring expenses or called operating expenses. These are below the line expenses, but you need to budget adequately for them. It must be detailed to the last expenses, to your lender, how much you'll be paying your lender, your interest, your anything. In our budget, you will see accommodation. There was accommodation for our what do you call it? We had accommodation for our contractors. You know, we had different things there. I'm not saying you should go and put accommodation. There's a need for that. So we had it.
You mean on-site, the on-site guy?
Yes, on site. So we had that included in our budget and all that. So
yeah.
I think we're almost done, Ife. So I think I am.
Oh, you kind of touched on this one, right?
Yeah. So let me just wrap up with this. So what role does the asset manager play in the budget preparation?
And not to interrupt you, but I did get a question. Nathan, I'm a side-eye you at this moment. He asked, hold on 1 second. Nathan asked, I think it was a similar question to the previous one. Can you define the responsibilities of an asset manager? So while we're not going to go into it in depth, just throw out a one-liner, because we do have a session for it. A session completely focused on this. So
yes, so the responsibility of an asset manager is really to manage the property manager. It's not for you to do the job of a property manager. You don't have to start cleaning toilets or doing the repairs or going to the site every day. No,
or calling tenants.
Your job. Or calling tenants. So yours is to ensure that they are in line with your business plan. How do you do that? As an asset manager's role is to ensure that all your metrics are met. What are your metrics? You would have defined them from the beginning. An asset manager is to ensure that they visit the property. For the fact you have property managers and you don't visit it, then maybe they're telling you lies and you need to verify. It has happened to us. So when we visit, we compare with what they're telling us. So that's the role of an asset manager. An asset manager's role is also to communicate to the investors. So you are responsible for investors' money. If you don't know what's happening on the property, what would you communicate to your investor? An asset manager's role is also to be accountable in terms of the finances. So there are many roles for an asset manager. We can break it down in the next session for you to know in details, but their role is different from a property manager. They are not similar. Two different responsibilities, but you need the knowledge of a property manager. It's very important. If you have the knowledge of a property manager, that is like a trophy right there for you. It just helps you understand what they should be doing and how you can manage them. Yeah, so I have a background in property management, so that kind of helps. It's not as if you need it, but it helps. I see things from their angle and I see things from my own angle. So that's just the difference in it. So what role does the asset manager play in the budget preparation? So you are supposed to, as an asset manager, like I say, you're supposed to compare and ensure that your pro forma aligns with the business plan. You're also supposed to approve it. So yes, they've created it, you have to approve it. You have to say, yes, I'm good, let's go. You are the director. You have those people as your partners, but you are the lead. You are the one that will say, yes, let's do this. Then you're also supposed to perform a fiscal year, yearly basis. So these are things an asset manager should do, the role that they can perform in the preparation of a budget, not for them to prepare the budget, but ensure that the budget aligns with their pro forma.
Yeah, so it's not static. It's done at least once every fiscal year.
Yes, but we've had cases where we did our budget, we readjusted the budget twice in 1 year, and the reason was because we were very, very realistic on the property manager was over conservative. So now it became, we started the deal and found out that we were performing way above the budget. So we had to readjust to give ourselves another target. So we gave ourselves a target of, let's say 90%. We achieved 95. So there was no more motivation. So we're seeing all our P&L was pass. So there was no motivation. So we had to readjust the budget again. That's reforecasting. We had to redirect it and created it to be, okay, now we did it at 90, now it's at 100. Our new budget is at 100. So let's push, So that's what we did. And that was why we did it twice that year.
Okay. Were you going to, sorry, I'm just gonna stop sharing for a bit. Were you going to go into any of the spreadsheets or no?
Yes, let me just show them a sample of a budget, what it looks like. We're not going to, this is the last slide, then we'll do the question and answer. Oh my God, it's already 8 o'clock. Can you just quickly show them? I'm not going to go through it.
Which one? Which morning time?
Do Maverick. Maverick is simple. It's pretty straightforward.
Okay, that's really bizarre. It opened before. Give me 1 second.
Okay, so the idea is for us to show you what it looks like so that
all right, so something like this, right?
yeah, so if you scroll up, so this budget has yes, so the budget has the rental income, it has everything. It's broken down on a monthly basis. So we have this month, this month, this month. So we're seeing what's our expectation each month in terms of income. We're also seeing what our vacancy projection should look like, our loss to lease should look like. Can you just scroll down so that we can rush through it. So our other income, we are like, okay, this is the budget for our other income. This is what it should look. This is the standard in the market. We feel this is what we can do. So this is the budget for other income. Then the last one is the second to the last is the expenses. So this is the budget for advertisement. You can see here. Yes, so this is the budget for advertisement and all that. This is the amount we're going to spend each month and all that. So in this case, when somebody comes up and says, let's spend 5,000, the budget for apartment.com is 5,000. I mean, the payment for apartment.com is 5,000. You're like, where is it on the budget? We don't have that provision for it. So right there, it just helps you control your expenses. Except if it's an emergency. Yeah, you can include that and do it. But if it's not an emergency, then you have to just walk past it, because if you decide to bump this by 5,000, this will change to about 20,000. So the budget helps you just stay in line with what's the expectation. Then the general admin you have each month. Please scroll down to the end. That the end is the capex. So
Okay, I just wanted to mention that the items that are highlighted were contested items, right?
Yes. So okay, fine. Yes. So if you see yellow lines beside some of the items. So the property manager brought this to us. So we had to start contesting them. No, this is too high. Take this off. And they're like, no, if you take this off, it will affect this. Or yes, okay, let's take it off. It's not necessary and all that. So there were some yellow items. This was when we're trying to now approve it. So we went through this stage like 3 times before we finally approved the budget. So it's a very active process and all that. So these are all recurring expenses. You have a budget for it. And all that. So if you see here, you see on top, you see annualized, you see pro forma owner. So what we're doing here is that we're comparing our underwriting. This line here is our underwriting, and this line here is the property manager's own. So the way you see the annualized, look up. If you look up here, annualized, this line here down is for the property manager, and the pro forma is us. So we're comparing. Okay, so they said that their turnover will be 64, ours was 65, very close. Management fee 73,690, ours was 74. So we're already comparing it, and we're very close with our numbers. So their taxes and insurance 221, ours was 230, very close. So these are things you really want to do to ensure that your budget aligns with your pro forma, because if it does not align with your pro forma, then your returns is already, whatever it is you promise your investors, I bet you will not achieve it. So I think that is all we have for today, and we can move on to questions and answers.
Oh, before then, I do want to let's show them what we're doing next. I don't know if we would be changing what we're doing next time based on the.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah,
this is it. Okay, based on the questions, but hopefully you guys will be able to come and join, because I think we did hear. We fielded a few questions that were asking about the basics. So property management, what is that all about, and how are they the key to unlocking our success as asset managers? So that's kind of what we'll be going over. We had brought on an asset manager as a. Were you to bring on a property manager, right, Bibi?
No, we did for
as a guest. Like pure property management. We brought
that would be on my Wednesday. Talking to the expert. We're going to bring a property manager, so you can ask anything property management directly. Maybe one of these.
I threw that link in the chat. Let me do it again.
Okay. Yeah. So for those of you that were not here, every other Wednesdays we'll be having an event called Talk to the Expert. So for those of you that are new, someone here said she is very new and she really wants to learn. I would advise that you attend it, because it's going to be every aspect of multifamily, not just asset management. It's going to be from mindset to destructuring. The person that's coming next week is going to be discussing mindset and destructuring, because that is the foundation of everything. Your mindset has to be right. Destructuring, then we're going to go into property manager. So we're going to bring one of our property managers, and you can ask questions, whatever it is that you want to ask, and they'll give you answers to them, sincere answers to that. And even on this, we're going to invite a property manager in the near future as well, for you to also ask your questions.
Awesome.
Bibi, I'm also available. I'm happy to help anybody. I mean, this is my 30th year property managing, so I'm happy to be a resource.
Thank you, that's Lisa. Awesome. Where are you based, Lisa?
I'm in North Carolina.
Oh, awesome. Great market.
Yeah. But I've managed in 16 states.
Mm,
So 16 states, probably 24 major markets.
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. So like I
That's
said,
great.
happy to be a resource. I know
No
bringing in the
problem.
experts.
I will
I
invite
love
you.
hearing.
We'll take
I
you
love
up on it.
hearing.
We'll take you up on your offer.
Yeah.
Question, is one of your states Texas?
Yeah. I'm originally from Dallas. I was in Dallas
Perfect.
almost 20 years. Mhm.
But where are
Awesome.
you located now?
She
North
said North
Carolina.
Carolina.
Okay,
North
okay.
Carolina.
I thought
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. Okay, before if he attacks me, I didn't hear it.
Yeah. Like I
Yeah.
said, so it's one of those things that I can give you a 30-year perspective, where we came from, where we were, all the way through to where we're going. So it's exciting to have you, Bibi, and really just making sure that there's a balance of the property management side and the asset management side.
Exactly.
And really that's why I'm listening in. I love that conversation. Everything you add is gold. And like I said, just happy to be an extra resource.
Thank you so much, Lisa. So I'll take you up on your offer. Expect my message. I have your email, so we're good. Yes, so does anybody have any questions before we call it a day?
Hey everyone, this is can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we
Hi.
can.
Hi. This is my first time on this call. I've been wanting to get on. I finally did today. What is the name of your company? I'm sorry, I kind of missed the very beginning, Zoom issues. What is
Blue Ocean.
Oh, that's interesting. That my company's name, I'm a GP with my company, which is called Blue Ocean Capital out of
Really?
Dallas Fort Worth.
How's this Blue Ocean Equity?
Yeah, we're Blue
And
Ocean.
where are you based?
Where we are in the Dallas Fort Worth market. We have
Really? I'm in the Dallas Fort Worth market too.
Isn't that I know I because I saw your name pop up and I'm like and anyways, long story short, with our Blue Ocean Capital, we just started in-house property management back in October, and so that's going really well. I'm in charge of what you were just saying a while back, just
Mhm.
kind of keeping up with the property managers. I do go visit the properties, but you're right, I'm not the one that's getting the toilet clogged up call either, but I'm making sure that our tenants are happy and making sure that we have like morning huddles, like literally every morning except like Sundays and Mondays, because we
No
want to
one
know what's going on at each property. And then, next day we want to get a result, say, okay, did you take care of that? And if not, what's the timeline? Because my property managers don't, respond. I mean, they're not responsible for our investors, but I am,
Mhm.
So I just wanted to introduce myself, and we were meant to meet, if nothing else, for the name of our companies, because
I'm
we're
happy
called,
to meet you
yeah, we're called, and you do this every
every other Monday.
Monday.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm in Central Time, so okay, so I'll start joining more, because knowledge is power, and we can always share with each other, all of us on this, what we know, because someone may not have tried something that we've tried, or benchmarking is always a good thing in property management and asset management. So thank you, ladies, for doing this. I'm so glad I was able to join today for the first time.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you,
Welcome.
Eva. It
Thank
was really
you.
nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we have a lot of property managers on this call. This is phenomenal.
That's great.
It's really nice.
That's
Yes.
great.
So is there any other question that we did not get to? So
I love coming to these calls as well, like Lisa and Iva or Eva mentioned, because we speak the same language. So that is
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah, it's Eva. I call myself Eva, the apartment diva, Mishra.
Ah.
That way that way you know how to say my name, and you also know what I do. So there you go. There's my tagline, Eva, the
I
apartment diva.
love it. That
Yep.
is great.
I should copyright it, everyone. You never know.
Eva, the apartmentdiva.com. I love it.
Yeah.
I
Well, no,
love
it's not
it.
.com. No. It's it's just Eva. Yeah, that's right. Maybe .com. You're right.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm telling you to do.
Okay, we have a
Give me an idea. I
question
need to
here,
reach out.
guys.
Yeah.
Yes, somebody asked, how do you come about the dollar amount with things needed to be renovated during due diligence period? Do you take general contractors to give you construction costs? Okay, good. So what the person is asking is, how do you come about the dollar amount to use for your renovations during your due diligence? So this is why I typically engage with my property manager to to help me out with my due diligence. So a property management company normally have contractors. They also have the expertise in renovations and all that. So they are the best people to help you out with it. So when I bring in my property manager, they bring in their third-party vendors like a plumber, an electrician, a roof guy, a foundation guy if the property has foundation. So they bring those team of people. They have them already. It's just one call away and all that. So when you have them, they can help you with an estimate. It is my property manager and the contractors that help me out with the estimate. Look at me, I'm not a contractor. You know that for a fact. You know.
You know what though, Bibi, even if you were, right?
Thank you.
No, but even if you were, the cost of renovation in your
varies.
market varies from what you'll find in
Yes.
Jacksonville or in Houston. So I think
Exactly.
it's still important to have people who are very familiar with that market, that sub-market, to weigh in on what the current costs are.
So in summary, property manager, your solution. That's no, not just an effective property manager,
Yes.
your solution. That's it. They will help you. But don't forget, these things are not free. There's some amount that is incurred for you to engage them to help you out with your due diligence. Now, some of them might say, this is the amount I'm charging. If you engage me on these services, then I'll give you back your money 100%. I will add it to my first bill. Some of them would say, I'll give you 50% back on deal. Some of them might say, okay, if I do this, then you must sign a contract with me to engage me if you get the deal. So it's just different. So you just need to negotiate. I've seen all. I've seen the one that said, I will be the property manager when you get the deal. I've seen one that said 50% and all that, but I've not seen the one that took 100%, except I just say take, or maybe I just did not want to ask for it and all that. Yeah, so yeah, so that's for that. I think that was a question from, I don't want to spoil his name.
Was that Nathan that asked that question?
No, Mihai.
Oh, okay.
Shoshi.
Okay. All right, cool. I think we might be done. We do need to wrap up at this point. Yeah, so I've dropped our social media handles in the chat. Thank you everyone who is networking in the chat as well. Hey Tia, thank you for swinging by. Please connect with each other. This is 2-second plug. It was in a room like this I met with Bibi. Okay, I talk with her. Sometimes I say I talk with her more than my mom. Every single day we're on the phone together. It was in rooms like this. You are able to meet your partners in rooms like this. So connect. It's all in the follow-up. Connect with people, follow up with them, see what they're doing, what they're working on, what their interests lie, how you can add value as well. You may not end up doing business, but you may know somebody that can do business with them. So add value.
And we are open to partnership, good ones anyway.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's key. Yeah. All right. I will close this out. Let me see if this works. Is my sound coming through? I hope it is. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Sure.
Is it coming through, Bibi?
Yes.
Is my sound coming through? Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
You said you were in Sarasota, right? That's my little one.
Yes,
Do you know Frank Catalano?
sure do, from Rhode Island.